Let's continue our chapter, cell structure and functions. Till now we have learnt about all organisms are made of smaller parts called organs. Organs are made of still smaller parts, and the smallest living part of an organism is called as a cell. And cells were first observed by Robert Hooke in cork bark of a tree in the year 1665. Cells exhibits variety of shapes and sizes. Number of cells also varies from organism to organism. And some cells are big enough to be seen with a naked eye. Example, hen's egg. Some organisms are single-celled. We call them as unicellular organisms, while some other organisms are made of more than one cell, that is large number of cells. We call them as multicellular organisms. The single-celled unicellular organisms perform all the activities, all the basic functions by variety of cells in multicellular organisms. Different cells such as blood cells, muscle cells, nerve cells of a human being, if you see, they show different shapes. The shape of the cell varies. It depends, it related to their specific function. And if you see shape of the cell, generally it is classified into three types: spherical shape, spindle shape, long branched shape. Spherical shape or red blood cells, they are spherical in shape, and muscle cells, they are spindle shape, that is broader in the middle and tapering at both the ends. And because of this spindle shape, muscles, we can have this contraction and relaxation of the muscle takes place so that we can do various activities. And long branched shape, example nerve cell otherwise called as neuron. And because of this long branched shape, nerve cell, they carry and receive messages from different parts of the body. Means we can tell they connect different parts of the body. And cell exhibits, so thus we can tell cell exhibits variety of shapes and sizes. Number of cells also varies from organisms to organisms. Some cells are big enough to be seen with the naked eye or unaided eye. Some organisms are single-celled, while some others, they contain large number of cells. The single cell of unicellular organisms, they perform all the basic functions performed by variety of cells in multicellular organisms. So the size of the cells, it has no relation with the size of the body of the animal or plant. And now let's continue about parts of the cell. So cell, if you see different parts of the cell. So first part we'll learn about cell membrane. So there is the basic components of cell. What is a basic component of cell are cell membrane, cytoplasm and nucleus. So these three are basic components of cell. So what are the basic components of cell? Cell membrane, cytoplasm and nucleus. And if you see, the cytoplasm and nucleus are enclosed within the cell membrane, which is otherwise called as plasma membrane. So where the cytoplasm and nucleus are present, they are enclosed, they enclosed by a cell membrane. The cell membrane is also called as plasma membrane. Now if you see the function of plasma membrane, the plasma membrane, it separates one cell from the another because it forms a boundary of the cell, isn't it? So it separates one cell, cells from one another, and also the cell from the surrounding medium. And second function is the plasma membrane is porous. Thus, that means it has very fine pores. Because of that, it allows the movement of substances or materials both inward and outwards. So some materials, they move from outside to into the cell, and some materials move from the cell to outside. So both the way it happens because of porous nature of plasma membrane. So what are the functions of plasma membrane, which is otherwise called a cell membrane? If because of cell membrane, it separates cells from one another, and also it separates cell from the surrounding medium. As plasma membrane is porous, it allows the movement of substances or materials from both inward and outward. And in order to observe the basic components of cell, so how do we know what are the basic components, that is cell membrane, nucleus, cytoplasm? These three are basic components of the cell, isn't it? So how do we see them? For that, let us have one activity. So we have to take an onion bulb, what we use, that onion bulb, we have to take, onion we have to take, and remove the dry pink coverings, that peels, we have to remove it. And you can we can see that then you have to cut into pieces. You can see that easily you can separate these from the fleshy white layers of the bulb with the help of forceps, or even with your hand. We have to take a fleshy part of the bulb with the help of forceps. Now, with a finally, you have to remove the small piece of onion with the help of forceps, and that fine onion peel, have to put it in a drop of water. That onion peel, you have to keep it on a glass slide, then add a drop of water on it. And this way, the thin layer can be cut into smaller pieces with the help of a blade or forceps. And now what we have to do is, we have to add few drops of methylene blue solution. It is a strain, but that methylene blue solution you have to add, and then we have to put a cover slip on it, very fine cover slip, which cover that onion peel. This glass slide, cover slip, this and all, we will be personally performing once we resume our school. Our children, so until then, let us discuss, explain, or understand the activity. First, we have to take a thin piece of onion peel, which can be removed by the help of blade or forceps. Then place it on a glass slide, then add a drop of water. Otherwise, it will get dried. So we have to add a drop of water. Then add a drop of methylene blue solution, which add color to that onion, to the layer, and then we have to place a cover slip on it. While placing a cover slip, we have to be very careful, so that it should be placed properly, so that no air bubbles should be present under the cover slip. So now we have made this glass slide of onion peel. Now this glass slide we have to observe under the microscope. Now if you see you can see the how it is seen in the figure. The same way it can be seen. The boundary of onion cell is nothing but the cell membrane, which is covered by another thick covering called the cell wall. And here you can see that thin thick layer, that boundary. So we can, one is inner one is, that is thick boundary, that is cell membrane, and which is in turn covered by another thick covering called the cell wall. And then inside, the central dense round body, thick round body in the center, what we call that as nucleus. And the jelly-like substance which is present between the nucleus and the cell membrane is nothing but cytoplasm. So here many cells are arranged like a brick, isn't it? So we can see this way all the basic components of cell, like cell membrane, along as onion is a plant cell, we can see that thick covering, that is cell membrane and cell wall. Then inside round, dense, thick body, round body, what we call that as nucleus, and jelly-like substance which is present between the nucleus and the cell membrane is called as cytoplasm. So these three basic components of cell can be observed under a microscope. And we have learned that the cell membrane, what is the function of cell membrane? It gives shape to the cell, isn't it? In addition to the cell membrane, here we have seen that there is an outer thick layer in the cells of plants, what we call that as cell wall. Now the question is, why plant cells need cell wall? Why? Because the additional layer of surrounding that surround the cell membrane called as cell wall is required by plants for protection. Plant cells need protection from what? The plant cells need protection against variations in temperature, high wind speed, atmospheric moisture, etc. And they are exposed to these variation because they cannot move. But as animals, if suddenly rain comes, we can move out from that place, isn't it? So all the climatic changes we can overcome by our movement. But as the plants cannot move, they have to protect themselves against variations like temperature, high wind speed, atmospheric moisture, etc. So for this, they have cell wall around the cell membrane. So what is the reason why plant cells have cell wall? Plant cells need protection against variations in temperature, high wind speed, atmospheric moisture, etc. As they are exposed to these variation because they cannot move, they need cell wall to protect for protection. Now we have learned about plant cell, isn't it? Now what about animal cell? Let's learn about animal cell by the following activity. Now animal cell, let us same way we have to do one activity. Take a clean toothpick, or you can take a matchstick with a tip broken. Children, this nobody will try. Once our school gets reopened, we teachers personally show this animal cell. So till then you just understand the activity. Take a clean toothpick or a matchstick with the tip broken. Now with that toothpick, we have to scrape inside our cheek. Inside our cheek, we have to slightly scrape without hurting. And now whatever we have scraped, just place it on a glass slide with a drop of water on it. Now add a drop of iodine. Therefore plant cell we have added methylene blue. Now here add a drop of iodine and place a cover slip over it. Now again alternatively we can add 1 to 2 drops of methylene blue solution also. Now observe it under the microscope. Now here what animal cell, how can we observe? From our cheek cell only. So slightly scrape our cheek, inside the cheek by a toothpick without hurting, then place it on a glass slide with a drop of water, then add drop of iodine and place cover slip over it. While putting a cover slip, we have to be very careful in such that no air bubbles should be trapped inside it. The same way, instead of iodine, we can add 1 to 2 drops of methylene blue solution also. Now observe it under the microscope. Now you can see here, we may notice several cells in the scrapped material. What we can identify? We can identify as outer covering called cell membrane, then the jelly-like substance between the nucleus and the cell membrane, what we call that as cytoplasm, and the dense round body inside the cell, what we call that as nucleus. But here what is the difference? In animal cell, the cell wall is absent. So cell wall is absent in the animal cell. So these three are basic components of cell, such as cell membrane, nucleus and cytoplasm. What children? Now let us learn about cytoplasm. Cytoplasm, what is cytoplasm? It is a jelly-like substance that is present between the cell membrane and the nucleus. And this cytoplasm, it provides place for various other components. These other components, cell components, we otherwise called as organelles. How do we have various organs? The same way cell also have various components. So those various components are called as organelles. Organelles of cell. What do you mean by organelles of cell? Various component of cell present in the cytoplasm. What are the various components, various organelles present in the cytoplasm like mitochondria, Golgi bodies, ribosomes, etc. Each and every organelle, they perform its own function. So these are cell organelle. So what is cytoplasm? Cytoplasm is a jelly-like substance present between the cell membrane and the nucleus, and it also provides space for various other components which is otherwise called as organelles like mitochondria, Golgi bodies, ribosomes, etc. Okay, children, and so till now we have learnt about the size of the cell. Cells in living organisms may be as small as 1 millionth of a meter, or we call that micrometer, or as large as few centimeter. And most of the cells are microscopic and we cannot see with our naked eye. The smallest cell is 0.1 to 0.5 micrometer, that is bacteria. The largest cell is 170 millimeter into 130 millimeter, which is the egg of an ostrich. And the size of the cell is no relation with the size of the body of animal or plant. The size of the cell is, on the other hand, it related to its function. And then we have learnt about basic components of cell or cell membrane, cytoplasm and nucleus. Cytoplasm and nucleus. First, we have learnt about cell membrane. The cytoplasm nucleus are enclosed within the cell membrane. Cell membrane, otherwise called as plasma membrane. What is the function of plasma membrane? It separates cell from one another, and also the separates cell from the surrounding medium. And as plasma membrane is porous, it allows the movement of substances in and out of the cell. And it also gives shape to the cell. And the outermost thick layer of cell layer around the cell membrane in plant cell is called as cell wall. And why the cell wall is required by plant cell? For protection against variation in temperature, high wind speed, atmospheric moisture, etc. because they are exposed to these variation as they cannot move. And then we have learnt about cytoplasm. Cytoplasm is a jelly-like substance present between the cell membrane and the nucleus. And what is its function? It provides space for various other components of the cell, which are otherwise called as organelles of cells like mitochondria, Golgi bodies, ribosomes, etc.